Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Demon. Today, I'm gonna be doing a video covering some of the metas we've had. It's not gonna be too in depth, but it's gonna cover a problem I've been having with Bounce Rush, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have been having as well. If you're newer, then you don't know, but here's my opinion and kind of a history of the game. So if you want a more in-depth kind of history, you can go through my tier list. I have a tier list for season 1, for season 4, for season 10, for season 14, for season 18. So you guys could go back and look at the different metas and what was amazing and not. But these are the metas. These are just characters that dominated. That doesn't mean they were the only good characters at the time, right? But they were the ones that dominated. So we'll call the good days, the good old days, the days of when there was almost no power creep in Bounty Rush. And I've had a discussion with many people that I respect their opinions, but they oftentimes told me that a gacha game cannot survive without power creep. And maybe they're right, but it definitely led a lot of the people today, now that there is power creep, to want to kind of want to leave, you know? Back in the day, we almost didn't have power creep. So I want to talk about that, and I'll explain to you guys the metas. So the first meta we've had is the Shanks Usopp meta. Now, Usopp was great because he had the capture speed increase, and he was fast, and he was annoying, and no one dealt much damage back then, so he was great. Shanks, everyone got to 5-star pretty quickly, and you'd always use him unless you had another great 5-star like Whitebeard, Akainu if you summoned, or any other 5-star you had. Some of the OGs like Mihawk, what's his name, Arlong, characters like that. If you had them, you could use them at 5-star, but in general, these were the two dominating ones, and those that summoned at the time, summoning for Bounty Fest were the best banners because they were step ups. So Whitebeard and Akainu, they were OP, and if you had them at 5-star, then great on you. I think Moria came a bit around that time as well, and Moria was great too, but no one summoned for Moria, and even though he was great, he wasn't as hype as these characters. So not many people had Moria. So then we got the kind of the most dominant meta that was dominant for a long time. It was for a long time the blue meta came a bit after this, but these were the characters that kind of hyped the game up a bit. We had Timeskip Luffy and Zoro. Those guys dominated. It was annoying as fuck. We also had Sanji, Law, and Croc. Now these were the most used characters. They weren't the only used ones, but they were definitely there all the time. And the game felt pretty stale at the time because it was like, these guys are so good, no other character is gonna be better than them. So, but they were not too good that every other character was irrelevant. Whitebeard wasn't bad, he was just not the best, So these characters were the best, Laws, Capture Speed, this guy, he's fucking insane, his range and his damage was too much. Luffy's combos were broken, his skills were great, he was invincible. Sanji had 2 one-shotting skills. Love's capturing great. This guy dealt a lot of damage and shit, and everyone had him at level 100, so a lot of people used him. So definitely, different time, and a great meta, because it was at a time where these were dominant, but other characters were used, like Mori and Kisor. They weren't as popular, but they were definitely used. And some other characters like Bikini Nami was also used. So yeah. Then we got the last kind of meta before power creep. Like at this point, power creep was starting to show. Gear 4 was just a better Sanji. Sabo, not many people pulled for Sabo, but I think he's coming back. There's going to be a Stampede event soon, so maybe Sabo's coming back. But Sabo is definitely really strong, and people started realizing this at this time. Because when he came out, it didn't feel like many Sabos were roaming around the world, but I definitely felt at this time that a lot of Sabos were running around. Gear 4 was great, but it was definitely the Zoro Dofi meta. If you wanted to DPS, use Zoro. You one-shot people with a skill, the other skill that half their health. They're guaranteed to kill them. Your combos were kind of ranged and great. Dofi is fucking bullshit with his going. But the thing with this meta is that even though this was dominant, the last meta was still pretty decent. Zoro, when this guy came out, wasn't useless. That's the thing, he wasn't. This Zoro was actually pretty decent. Luffy was still decent. It's just that these characters were the best, the most used kind of thing. But then, things changed. We feel the sadness Boom! Happy fun time! Let's release OP, 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 boom, boom, boom! And this is when Bounty Rush changed, guys. This is when kind of every Bounty Fest revolutionizes kind of things, right? He came out and he for a long time was insane, right? He fucking la 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 la. What's his name? Fuck, I forgot his name. Ah. How did I forget? Katakuri. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. So Katakuri, when he came out, everyone was hyped. Everyone was summoning for him, and definitely him and Big Mom. They definitely changed the games. Big Mom was so tanky. She was a better Moria. Katakuri dealt so much damage. His combo had so much range. His skills were one shot. They were definitely a step. But they weren't too sure that everything changed. But they were definitely a step above all these other characters. Still, Dofi was still relevant, the other metas were relevant, but it was a change that happened. And then we got Kaido. And Kaido is kind of when shit broke shit. We had Kuma, we had some regular characters, we had Kuma, we had Jinbei. Those two kind of weren't too hyped, so not many people summoned for them. But they were definitely Dofi counters, so kind of showing that Dofi was gonna slow down. And then we get Kaido, man. Kaido broke the game. He's so broken. Nothing can kill him. He can one-shot everything. He's insane. He's so tanky. Boom, ba, 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 bi. It felt like Kaido was the peak. And nothing was going to overcome him. But if he was the peak, that means, it's either don't use Kaido and everything else is fine. But that's not when the peak happened. Because we got the anniversary and pre-anniversary banner, which is Blackbeard. Now, Shanks, to me, in my opinion, isn't as bad as Blackbeard because Shanks isn't that tanky. Now, he is annoying. He has a dodge. He has his fucking invincible skill that will one-shot you. And heal him as well. But it didn't feel like it broke the game because you could still kind of outplay him. It was hard, but you could. And he wasn't that tanky. But Blackbeard did. This guy. Okay, let's talk about Blackbeard. You can't one-shot him. When you do kill him, he comes back with 15% HP. His skill removes your dodge. They're very fast, so you can't really react to them necessarily. His combos aren't bad. His skill is invincible, so it's like kind of another free dodge. And he's so tanky that if you're not using any other character that's not on these 5, and when I say these 5, it's more like the 3 on the right side, then you're not gonna have a lot of fun. Sabo and Fujitora came out. Look at them. They're so meh. They're not gonna change the meta. It's still Blackbeard Shanks. They're not good enough to compete. So now Bandai's only other choice to make better characters is the next Extreme Bounty Fest. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not looking forward to it. And it definitely sucks to be where we're at now. But it's how it is, and that's the game that we've been playing, and we kind of had to see it coming. At some point power creep was gonna happen. It's my fault for believing that Bandai wouldn't do it, but they did, and that's the game. And I still play it every day, and I still love it. But it's definitely unfortunate that these two characters definitely make every other character kind of annoying, and Kaido as well. Kaido is still annoying. So yeah, guys, that's the meta. That's the kind of a small history discussion type thing. So enjoyed. Hope you did, and